You know what? Let's use archery, since sin means missing the mark, and missing the mark is okay. So we got an archery term, and God is love. God is truth, and God says, "Let us make man in our likeness and our image." If we're made in God's image, and love and truth are like in us also, to deviate from that mark would have been sin. To me, that makes sense. So it's like, so it could be fair to say that for Cain, when he is thinking about killing his brother and God says sin is creeping at your door, let's just say murder doesn't exist yet, but Cain would be guilty of not loving his brother.
Exactly.
Unlove is sin. Failing to love is sin. Failing to do something you ought to do. So anyway, Cain misses the mark, and he displays this by murdering his brother. But he'd actually missed the mark by hating his brother earlier than that. So it's like we have that. And then we fast forward a little bit. The whole earth gets flooded. So there's just a whole lot of, I don't care about my neighbor, and I don't care what God thinks about it going on. Those two things are just happening. Then God starts to course correct. So initially the mark was love. Humanity is here, love is here, and we are missing this mark. We're hitting this way, we're shooting this way, but the target's just too far. Archery wise, we don't have the skill set now that sin is in us, however you want to describe it. My thing is, love is a really far marker. Let's say 300 yards. So God says, you know what? I'm going to put laws here that are easier to hit than the actual target.
Right.
So in order to train you up, I'm going to give you, thou shalt not commit adultery, don't covet, don't this, don't that. And it's like, these people can actually hit sometimes. They might still miss them every now and then. They might still whatever, but these are easier. And then you get more laws put on top of that law. And now, by the time Jesus comes, we've got a whole bunch of laws that are sitting at 100 yards, 50 yards, 10 yards. Kids can hit some of these. The problem is people are consistently hitting these little targets. And then Jesus comes along, pulls his bow back, shoots, aims really high, lets it go. And everyone, because they have only seen all these other targets, are saying, what a sinful man. How obvious it is that he can't aim at all, that he would shoot clear over all the targets the rest of humanity is shooting for. He actually looks like he's sinning because people think these targets matter, and Jesus came and only hit the target that mattered.
This reminds me, don't lose your thought, I'm gonna say this real fast. The movie Mulan. Remember when she has that big thing, the big grenade she's trying to shoot with the dragon head on it?
Yeah.
And she's aiming and all the Huns are coming.
Yeah.
And the head guy of her crew was looking at her like, shoot the big scary looking guy that's coming. Like, and Mulan was like, and then she sees the mountain.
Right.
And she's all them people on horses coming at them, and she aims at the mountain and shoots it. Right. And you just see it go far, and then whoosh, explosion. And everybody was looking at Mulan like, what in the world? Yeah, like, what are you doing? And then the mountain, and it causes an avalanche and wipes everybody out. It's like she saw past, like, it's just, that made me, what you just said made me think of that scene.
Yeah.
Because you shot past everyone in front of you, but they thought they, Yeah.
They've been shooting at training for so long that they forgot the objective of the training was actually to eventually get good enough to hit that 300-yard mark. The only thing that's ever mattered. But we got so bogged down, so proud of hitting targets no one actually cares about, that it's like someone came in and shot so well that they hit a target we didn't even know was there.
Exactly.
That's why God had to come down, because we had been so far. And it's like, and it's good that these were here in the meantime, because some people were missing the 100 mark. Some people were missing that 10 mark. Some people said, forget archery. Like,
right. I can't hit none of them.
Some people came out there with a rifle and played a different sport entirely.
Right.
And it's just like, all right, so all of this happens because they think it's impossible to hit the original target, or they don't even think it exists anymore. It's hidden behind too many layers of rules. Jesus comes, corrects this. Like you said, the avalanche falls. And now we have a bunch of people who are looking at Jesus like, why did you destroy God's rules? Like, the avalanche fell on all these people that we were supposed to be aiming at. And some people are still shooting. Dirt's all over the target. People are still like, nah, this is the stuff that matters, though. And it's like, and then there's other people who are shooting clear over it. And I just feel like that's really long story. Somehow we got into the law part. But I want
to piggyback off that, or not even piggyback, but like provide a different angle to the conclusion that you said. Because once the avalanche fell on everybody, if her crew would have still been mad to be like, you didn't hit the guy in the chest, like you were supposed to hit them,
right?
But it's like she accomplished the point of the law, quote unquote. She accomplished what the point was. It's like it's funny because when you think about it, it's like if you gave somebody, or even with the Mulan example, it's like if somebody had a grenade, if somebody had a rocket launcher, if somebody had an arrow, if somebody had a gun, and then somebody had a knife, it's like, and then all the Huns are coming. It's like the point was evil people trying to kill us.
Right.
The point is to stop them.
Right.
But if you don't know that the point's to stop them, all your narrow mind is only thinking about, I was taught how to shoot this gun, and they taught me like where to shoot on the chest and how to aim and what's the recoil or whatever it's called. It's like I learned all of that. And it's like, and then with a knife, I learned where to stab. I learned how to use the grenade. It's like, but you're thinking, I learned how to do it to where to stop the people right in front of me. Mulan actually thought for herself outside of her training. She understood the point is to stop them.
Yes.
That is the point. So even if I deviate away from, obviously you were supposed to shoot it maybe at the person.
Yeah.
But she was like, given the context, we're about to die here.
Yeah.
I'm about to, great idea. This shooting the mountaintop that's going to cause an avalanche to fall on them is what? Accomplishing the goal.
The goal.
So
the point.
Yeah, the point. So for somebody to say, to still be mad, like, I get that you did that, but you didn't shoot them in the chest.
Yeah.
So you're wrong, Mulan.
Right.
We would be like, what?
Wild. That would have been a crazy.
No, but that's what Jesus did with the Pharisees with the Sabbath.
Yeah, and no, this is what matters. And this is perfect because I actually forgot we were even doing this. We were trying to answer what to do with certain passages. So Jesus says, I didn't come to abolish the law. I came to fulfill it. A lot of people are like, this is a reason why we can't get rid of the old covenant, the old law. And it's like, it's the same thing. If Jesus or anybody, the issue here is that we don't think we're living real life. We think we're playing a sport. Like learning how to box. Sean's gonna love me. I'm advertising for my man. All right. But no, like for real, like we're advertising how to box because boxing is a form of self-defense. And it's like, cool. So I learned how to box, I learned how to throw a jab, I learned how to defend, learned how to throw a hook. And then I go out in the real world and someone's life is actually at stake. I'm defending my daughter. And so I get in boxing position. And then I realize that there's a baseball bat to my right. Like, my job is to defend my daughter, and I definitely learned how to box in order to do that. But what do you think I'm about to do next? With a real threat in front of me that has a knife or whatever, I'm going to grab this bat, and we're going to proceed to defend my daughter. I didn't come to abolish boxing, you guys. I'm not saying that's a bad form of training. But if I get in a real situation, guess what I'm not going to do?